viewing audience, Kurt Bloom, Mo Finley, E.G. McWhirter, and our down in front production crew. We get underway from Legacy. This is the second of 3 games that Ole Miss will have to have had rescheduled. They go inside early and deflected. It will be Auburn ball. For Auburn to win this game, you've already mentioned it, they've got to play terrific defense. They can cause turnovers, and that's what they'll look to do tonight. Look at the Tigers starting 5. Remember, we talked about a point guard is a freshman, Harrison Koulibaly, just like Vanderbilt. You'll see Alabama's got a freshman point guard as well.
This Ole Miss defense, great at using their hands, aggressive on the ball, makes every catch very tough.
Open look. And it's Hattie Lay gets on the board. Ole Miss will run. And Dabarisha Poe will counter. So it's a 2-2 game.
And Poe
1 minute gone by.
Leaking out right away after a made basket. Really good find for the Tigers to get an easy basket to open the ball game. But they gave up an uncontested layup on the other end.
Running drive and a left-handed layup. Jamia Harris with a nice finish. 4-2. Auburn in front. Auburn has brought, look up in this crowd, you see a lot of orange and blue, so they brought their fans here. Medium range jump shot, back of the rim, and then rebounded by Maya Petticord. Now, Petticord missed the last Auburn game. She wasn't feeling well. A fake and a jump shot. And Petticord gets on the board.
And Auburn, when they're able to score, they're able to extend their defense. They want to try to get you into a little bit of a rush offensively. Of course, they don't have a lot of size, so if they give up the offensive rebound, it could be a long night for the Tigers.
Duhan will pick up a foul. First foul of the game. Iwala, by the way, getting involved early. Christine picks up an offensive rebound.
What Ole Miss did on Friday, they did an outstanding job of switching the ball screen action. Iwala able to stay in front of the Vanderbilt guards for the majority of the shot clock, did not give up a ton of dribble penetration. We see the early substitution here from Coach Yo because Auburn's had 2 layups. And of course, when you don't defend the ball, you've got to come sit if you're a Rebel.
Poe, 15-footer swish. Dabarisha Poe had just 4 points Friday night, 3 rebounds. She already has 4 points on her first 2 shots.
And she has a breakaway layup and also a contested jump shot. What Ole Miss did a nice job of on Friday, just taking quality shots. They didn't take a lot of threes, but they made the ones that they took. Great balance on the offensive end for the Rebels.
This Petticord uses the glass, no good. Rebels on the rebound. Again, it's Poe. So Poe's had a good couple of minutes to get this game started. 3-pointer was there and then stolen. Here comes Petticord on the right side and an easy layup.
And Petticord right in the gap that time. Not an opportunity to drive the basketball.
And another bad pass and stolen again by Auburn. And then all the way with the finish, Koulibaly.
And the offense is turning into defense, so to speak, because when they score, they're able to set up and extend their defense. Great job of reading the pass and picking it off, stealing the possession, and turning the turnover into points.
Ole Miss trying to get the ball inside. They do, but a miss by Jayla Murray. And here come the Tigers again. They lead by 6. Petticord a 3 from the wing, won't fall. Rebounded by McMahon. Man, very capable of going coast to coast. Pull up, jump shot.
And there's no stopping McMahon when she gets a full head of steam. Drives it right into her mid-range. She loves the mid-range game, of course. Great frame, able to absorb a lot of contact on her way to the basket. That time, able to pull up for the easy one.
4 minutes gone by. Petticord beat her man to the spot, but missed the bunny at the rim. That's Chinu for Ole Miss. Chinu with the reverse layup. That was fancy.
Chinu keeping the dribble alive, probing alongside the baseline. Weak side defense for Auburn was initially there, went away. Chinu took advantage of the open basket.
Larry Vickers, the first-year head coach of Auburn, said it is a must for the Tigers to control the pace. A blow by and then rejected. And it will be Ole Miss basketball again back in the hands of McMahon. Cut, shot, no good, but a second chance, and Murray gets fouled. Well, it's going to be on Jayla Murray for a push-off. There's the first-year head coach, Larry Vickers, long time at Norfolk State. His last 3 years at Norfolk State, 3 consecutive conference championships, 3 times to the NCAAs. He's coming in hot, as they say.
Not a lot of time to build this Auburn roster. Lots of newcomers, many programs all over the country having to do the same thing. But Coach Vickers has been able to get his ladies on the defensive end of the floor, playing with the right pace, right intensity.
Duhan with the miss. It's Peterson over to McMahon. Foul is on the Tigers. Ariel Jack was at Texas A&M, and Candace Jackson at Duke, and then Audra Smith. Bowen, you know Audra.
Former UAB coach. Ole Miss does not particularly shoot the 3-ball well on the season. Only shoots it at 27%, only make 5 per game. But they take the open ones and they take shots at the right time. Makes it very easy for teammates to rebound the basketball.
So McMahon had that big game against Vanderbilt, 27 points. 11, by the way, came at the free throw line, where she now has gotten 1 for 1. Second one is good.
Just has a knack for getting to the line like most scorers. Find a way to draw some contact, get some easy ones to go, and that opens up every other part of your offensive game, seeing that ball go in the basket.
Front court for the Tigers, Hottie Lee.
And Tigers had an opportunity for a fast break opportunity there. Ole Miss, great job of getting back, eliminating the open basket.
Ariel Jackson from Brooklyn. Jackson will drive. Deflected. Speaking of drive, and McMahon on the run, blocking foul Auburn.
One of the things your coach teaches you when you're very young, when the basketball is being driven to you, you have to stop the basketball. McMahon is a handful to stop off the drive.
There's Coach Yolette McPhee McEwen, now in her 8th year. 4 straight 20 wins, and 4 straight times they've won at least 10 games in the SEC. That has never been done before at Ole Miss. After a missed basket, Auburn trying to run. Missed shot by Coulibaly, the freshman. You see the score tied at 10. Let's look at Mo Finley's keys to the game.
And for Auburn, the first thing they have to do is control the pace. And they're doing that because they're able to manufacture some points. They've got to find a way to score the basketball. They're doing a nice job of taking advantage of their transition opportunities early here. And they have established themselves in the paint, albeit all layups. For Ole Miss, they've got to control the paint. That's where they're at their best in offensive balance. Ole Miss, they're not going to take a ton of bad shots. McMahon is the leading scorer, but there are tons of players around her who do a nice job of complimenting her on the offensive end. They have to have a balanced offensive attack here tonight.
McMahon at the top of the arc. Guarded tightly by Jackson. See the screen, and then McMahon off balance, draws the foul.
So smart. That's just really smart that time. Of course, Auburn showing us the zone look for the first time here tonight. Jackson trying to get over the screen, and to be honest, it's not a whole lot of contact, but that's just the savvy senior McMahon able to feel on the backside of the defender, just sort of lean back towards her. Official didn't quite have such a clear view. Contact, foul.
Ariel Jackson has picked up her second foul. McMahon 3 for 3 at the free throw line for the senior out of Dayton, Ohio. First 3 years were at Ohio State, but she transferred, and we talked about it Friday night. Basically, she was a 4-5 on the floor for the Buckeyes, but here you see her bring the ball up court.
Just a great transition from inside to perimeter. Great footwork, great ball handling, and it shows that she's probably spent a ton of time working on that part of her game.
Petticourt, and then back to the freshman, Coulibaly. This is a 4-guard offense primarily for the Tigers. And they do wind up with an offensive rebound. That's Soraya Daniels who launches. Over those last 3 years at Norfolk State, Vickers won 83 games. Auburn, this has got to go up right about now. A missed shot and a rebound by Peterson of Ole Miss. That's McMahon on the wing. Iwala hasn't really gotten a touch, especially in the paint.
And she's been working hard to get it a couple of times there. She had her defender sealed.
McMahon's three. That's a game of volleyball won by Auburn. Coulibaly. Now you got to like the poise that this freshman has, Mo. She does remind me a little bit of the Vanderbilt freshman we saw. Look at her now, jets and goes to the rim and draws. Or did she commit a foul? She didn't draw. She committed.
It's a really good rotation that time, and I think McMahon is going to get credit for taking the charge here as we see her cross and get to the baseline. Quick move, and she's there. Coulibaly leaves her feet. Great concentration, but unfortunately that basket will not count. I like the pace that Auburn has played with offensively so far in this first quarter.
And Mo, again, that's the only chance that they have is control and dominate the pacing. Remember when Vandy controlled the pacing first 5 minutes on Friday night?
Right, and for Auburn, it gives them a chance to switch their defense and try to get Ole Miss out of sync a little bit offensively.
McMahon getting a very friendly role. Cody McMahon, 8 in the first half as the Rebels showed a little pressure.
She gets positioned almost anywhere she wants. And this is what you can't afford. You can't afford quick shots that lead to transition opportunities for Ole Miss.
McMahon uses glass. There's no answer for McMahon right now. She's got 10, and the Rebels with a 6-point lead.
Well, she can take the contact. She can take the bumps, and she's strong enough to finish around the rim. We know she wants to get downhill. So if you're Auburn, you have to find a way to get the ball out of her hands. Can't let her operate in that 15 to basket area.
Minute 30 remaining here in the opening quarter. Ole Miss by 6. Whistle on the shot.
She knew pretty good defense initially that time. And Auburn here a little bit out of sync on the offensive end. Got bailed out with a call there. She knew that time in pretty good position to just contest. Ends up fouling there. Has the size advantage and the height advantage. Just stay vertical and force Coulibaly to shoot over the top of you instead of sending her to the line.
Now the freshman is from Paris, France. She has struggled at the free throw line, hitting only 60%. And the Kurt Bloom theory, and it's not published in any book, your point guards, they've got to be 75% and above. And Mo, you were a point guard, and you were in your career over at UAB over 70%.
Well, the ball's going to be in your hands a lot. You're going to get fouled a lot, especially late game situations. And when you attack the basket and play in transition, you're definitely going to get touched. So you've got to be able to go and convert them at the foul line.
Peterson looking for Murray underneath. Will that circus shot count? Yes, circus has made its way over to Legacy.
Awesome hustle and awareness that time from Chi Nu, picking up the loose ball. Had the wherewithal to gain her balance. You see her, just a loose ball, she's able to pick it up, takes the contact, and of course, using her offhand, flips it off the glass softly.
Chi Nu, 3-point play. She has 5 in the opening quarter, which has a minute remaining. Ole Miss with a 9-point lead against the Tigers.
We see the defensive intensity picking up a little bit for Ole Miss here over the past couple of minutes. Auburn struggling in the half court to move the basketball with the exception of off the dribble.
That was a clean block, and Ole Miss winds up with it. McMahon with the old-fashioned bounce pass. Inside Murray. Outside for a 3. Got it.
Great inside out basketball. Murray attacking Knowing the double team is going to come, defender slides over just enough to create a passing lane for the corner 3 ball.
Dabrisha Poe hits her 25th three of the year. Auburn trying to match. Richardson hit it off the front of the rim. McMahon all the way at the buzzer, no good, and that will close out our first quarter, where the 14th, Sinai Richardson. Auburn, by the way, Mo, they have a 6'9" girl on their team, a freshman, Arek Angui. Hopefully we will have a chance to see her later on. Murray in the paint. Murray with the left. She got hit, wasn't called. And a second chance, now a third chance put in by Iwala. And those are her first 2 points.
That's just maximum effort. Iwala misses the first one, goes after it aggressively amongst 3 blue jerseys.
That one is, as we say, an unforced error there, a turnover. And Jenna Bayoso fired it right through the Auburn offense. As Larry Vickers looks at that turnover.
3-2 zone here. See if Auburn can keep the basketball out of the middle. Able to force a turnover here.
Intended for Iwala. Stepping right into a 3 was Petticord, but she missed. No, Mo, we've seen 2 games now. SEC, we had Vandy, we had Ole Miss, now we got Auburn and Ole Miss. The most shocking thing for me is the limited amount of threes that these SEC teams have made. I'm shocked. They've only averaged, the teams we've played have averaged, or watched rather, 5 3-mades per game. Are you a little surprised by that?
Well, part of Vanderbilt's inability to make the 3 ball was the defense that Ole Miss plays, especially in the half court. They just didn't have a whole lot of opportunity to do so. Ole Miss this season, they have not shot the 3 well. They take shots that they can make. They're looking to play 15 feet and in. Of course, they want to get downhill to the rim. They have such size and athleticism and the skill set to do it. They will take a couple of open threes if you give them to them, and that's why against the Vanderbilt game, I was actually surprised that Ole Miss took as many threes as they did.
Ole Miss averages 5 made threes. Defensively, they give up 4 made threes per game. Good look inside. And Auburn gets 2 from Lay.
And here's what I like. Lay able to score on the inside. Ole Miss pushing the basketball. Peterson pushes it right back up the floor. Not giving Auburn's defense a chance to really set in. Pulled it back out and allowed Auburn's defense to set up a little bit. But after made shots, the Rebels are going to push the basketball. They're going to continue to push the pace. If you're Auburn, you've got to make sure that you're on high alert, even after you make baskets.
Six to shoot for the Rebs. McMahon muscles her way in, muscles up, puts it home.
That's just, I'm bigger than you. And I can carve out space even when space doesn't seem to exist. Able to fend off the defender and secure the basketball for the layup.
Jackson for the Tigers. They're down by 14. Stripped, but a foul instead on Tiana Thompson.
That looked pretty good here on the initial. I'd like to see the replay. But it's a great crossover. Able to shake free, and now you see the reach in. Ooh.
Not a ball.
I could make an argument for jump ball there. I'm sure Coach Yo did make that argument.
Duhan, 4-year player for the Tigers, gets fouled. I had a chance to speak with Caitlin Duhan yesterday at practice. She's a rare 4-year player at the same school. See her draw the contact. And I asked her about it, and she said, I want my degree. That's the bottom line. When you transfer, you lose credits. She's going for her degree in psychology, and she's on schedule to graduate in May. And I just said, congratulations for that attitude and that approach.
Right, fantastic attitude, because that degree is going to matter long after that ball stops bouncing, regardless of how long you're able to play. Like, as you mentioned, it's just not often that you see players stay in one place, but some players go to schools and they love the atmosphere, they love the environment, and they feel that they're growing in the right way in that environment, so they stay.
Caitlin is from Houston, close to her family. She just proves that you can be a student and an athlete at the same time.
Auburn able to force a turnover. Here, see if the Tigers offense can get the ball movement, get that ball moving side to side. Maybe not so many dribbles. If you're dribbling a ton, you're playing into Ole Miss's hands because they're so aggressive on the ball.
Under 7 minutes remaining in the second quarter. That's offensive on Auburn.
That's a very smart take that time from McMahon. And here,
Hottie Lay.
And it's good position. Yeah, it's good position from Lay. And she still ends up getting punished for being in the right spot because McMahon's so smart.
McMahon is really one of the true leaders, not only of this team, but really in college basketball. You just got to see her during a practice as she grabs 2 more points for a 14 so far.
And she's sitting right in the middle of that zone. Her teammates are getting the basketball to her right around that foul line area. The ball goes there against zone. The defense is going to be in a real tough spot.
Good pass inside, but nobody else there off the hands of Lay, and here comes McMahon. She drew 4 defenders practically and a turnover. It's Duhan.
Auburn, nice job of surrounding McMahon that time. She's pushing the basketball, didn't quite feel the defender behind her. Able to force the turnover.
Harris, 9 to shoot for Auburn. Harris needs help. Jackson. And deflected again by the Ole Miss defense. And you got your choice, a deflection, steal, or a 30-second violation.
You have to find a way to get the ball moving side to side, some player movement. Ole Miss, very good at containing the dribble 1 through 5. When that ball sticks in one player's hands, you're essentially playing right into Ole Miss's hands. That's what they want. They want you to dribble out the clock because they know, of course, that clock's winding down. Your options are limited in terms of what you can do with the basketball. They can contest at the end of the clock. They know they can play the pass lane and be aggressive if you do try to get rid of it. Just outstanding defensively.
Denham to Shields. She had a couple of baskets and some valuable minutes against Vanderbilt. DeShields, 5 points, 2 rebounds in 13 minutes. McMahon called for the traveling. Another turnover by the Rebs.
This time, just a little bit of a shuffle from McMahon.
8 turnovers by Ole Miss here in this first half. Now, that's one thing Auburn is capable of doing. They average their opponent into 20 turnovers a game. Off the hands.
Can you turn those turnovers into points?
Right. By the way, the 6'9" Angui is in the ballgame. And she's the tallest player ever at Auburn. She is so tall.
The official donation portal that has been set up to give back to those in Oxford.
Thank you, Emily Grace. Denham to Shields, pair of free throws as she hits the first. Shields last year played at rival Mississippi State. She started every game. A year later, she's in Oxford. Nice pass. Will it lead to points? No. And then Iwala hasn't piled up the stats yet. She picks up a rebound. McMahon maybe a little push off, looking for Iwala.
Great concentration that time from Iwala, just to keep that ball from going out of bounds.
And this time it will be Auburn basketball. Ole Miss has a 16-point lead but I don't think that they've played with the fluidity as they did Friday. They just looked more in sync Friday, more engaged.
Well, I think just a little bit, but they have held Auburn to shoot just 30% for the game. So I think defensively they have been their normal dominant selves.
But offensively, committing a few turnovers and just not executing, that would be the word. Here's McMahon, a 2-on-1, now 2-on-2, and then McMahon tripped up on a blocking foul. And that Auburn defender, don't know who it is yet, but whoever it is
a very brave soul for taking that contact that time from McMahon coming right down Main Street. But she had her teammate coming, Jackson, hustling back to try to disrupt what was essentially a 2-on-1.
She's lucky she didn't take full impact. She might have landed in the third row here at Legacy. Cody McMahon, 15 in the first half. Right now, not only a WNBA prospect, but they're mocking her at 7 overall.
And if she keeps performing the way she's been performing the past couple of weeks, she's going to climb up that mock draft board closer to number 1.
What that graphic didn't show you is that UConn and South Carolina probably have the first 6. You just pick and choose what you want out of the Huskies and the Gamecocks.
Lots of talented young ladies playing in the SEC that will have an opportunity to play at the next level. Of course, South Carolina, they seem to have some of the best talent anywhere every year.
Poe goes right across and finished by Chinu.
Oh, good job continuing to drive the ball, forcing the defender to help, forcing her to commit. Made an easy finish for Chinu.
Slowly but surely, the deficit growing for Auburn. They got 5 seconds to shoot. Nice left-handed finish. Maya Pettiford out of Detroit, Michigan. That's Peterson drawing contact. And Peterson will pick up an offensive foul.
We've seen Ole Miss continue to attack after made baskets. Petticord able to shake her defender and get to the rim. One of the few opportunities the Tigers have had in the second quarter to score without 2 or 3 Rebels in the area.
Tigers only have 6 points here in the second quarter, being outscored 11-6. Duhan trying to find a teammate on the cut. Koulibaly. Ole Miss got there defensively.
And Ole Miss, they know they're going to get backdoored on a lot of possessions because they're so aggressive on the defensive end. That time Auburn not able to complete the pass. It would have been a tough layup, but a layup opportunity nonetheless.
Richardson actually deflected, but Koulibaly gets off the jumper and misses. So one and done for Auburn.
One and done. Koulibaly got to her spot. That's where she makes her money, right around the basket.
Here's Auburn with a chance. 2-on-2 and a good finish. Caitlin Duhan.
Just a 6th fast break point of the night for Auburn.
Duhan by herself, or rather McMahon by herself, probably has 6, maybe even 8 fast break points. Lattimore leans in. Foul.
Another great take.
Gets the offensive foul, no?
Another great take that time from Duhan, right underneath the basket, rotating over.
.120 remaining here in the second quarter. Tigers trying to carve into a 15-point deficit. Turnaround won't go. Once again, one and done. Chinu on the rebound. And then Iwala will finish. That's 4 for Iwala. We have the double-double Friday.
Iwala sliding to the open space, able to take advantage of the dribble penetration from her teammate. Rotate up. When you can't contain the dribble, it just puts everybody in a bad spot when your teammates have to help.
Daniels comes up short. Well, I can't remember off the top of my head the last offensive rebound for Auburn.
Well, they haven't had a lot of them tonight.
But they need them. That's the point is to beat this Ole Miss team, they're going to have to get a couple of offensive boards, a couple second and third chances. Easier said than done. Daniels draws the foul.
That's a good time to go to the foul line. Auburn, this second quarter, just haven't been able to find the rhythm offensively. In the first quarter, they were just able to get out and run a little bit. They had some easy layups in that first quarter, which allowed them to set their D a little bit. But Ole Miss combated that by pushing the basketball after the makes, and eventually Auburn, they slowed down a little bit on their makes, and Ole Miss continued to push the pace and step on the gas a little bit and force the issue on the offensive end. And of course, when you have such a talented roster as Ole Miss has, they're going to find a way to score points.
Soraya Daniels only 1 out of 2 at the line. Man, we've seen her capable from shooting and hitting from outside. They'll turn over again. Duhan with the ball in her hands.
And that was the best defensive zone possession I think Auburn's had tonight.
Harry Vickers encouraging his player to go to the rim. It was blocked. They also might have been a little unaware.
But they've got to come out, and they got defense on the first possession. Got to get a stop right here.
Caitlin Peterson will be at the point here to open up quarter 3. They quickly go inside, and the finish by Cody McMahon, who now has 17 in the game.
Well, it's no surprise what Ole Miss is going to do. Whether Auburn's played man or zone, they've been able to find a way to move the basketball and get inside touches.
Mo Finley, do you necessarily, if you're Coach Yo, did you call that play from the locker room opening up the third quarter?
Well, it depends. I don't know necessarily that she didn't. She could have easily told them right before they walked out of the huddle. I think it's just a staple. They play inside out, whether it's with the jump shots from the mid-range or whether it's with post touches. I think it's just who they are. That's their offensive identity. I don't know that anything she would have called or, wouldn't have ended up with the ball in the same area.
Auburn needing to get on a run. There's a run and a basket for Jamia Harris. 4 points in the game for the junior from Lancaster, Texas.
Harris able to use her offhand to get to the rim. These Tigers, they've had some scoring opportunities around the rim. Early in the first quarter, they were able to finish them. Midway through the first quarter, throughout the first half, not so much.
Duhan picks up a foul here in the third quarter. And when you watch the replay on that, the defense by Auburn is exactly what Larry Vickers told me yesterday. They will collapse and double-team the post. And you saw that collapse right there on Iwala. Now, he was hoping that they can do that without a foul.
But they're doing a good job of being in the right position. Iwala is just so physical around the rim. And, of course, her teammates, they have a lot of length and athleticism. So being in the right spot doesn't always necessarily equate to a steal.
Coulibaly with a nice move. She's got an extra gear, but she just didn't finish. And McMahon, on her drive to the layup, gets fouled. I was talking about her, again, during practice. She is as vocal as any player I've ever been around. Teacher, mentor, whatever needs to be done. She really is a coach on the floor for Coach Yo.
Right, and part of that is just experience. She's played a lot of basketball at a very high level. She understands what being a part of this Ole Miss program means to the ladies that are a part of it. She also understands, and listen, we'll have a chance to do something really special here if we do it together, do it collectively. And she doesn't want to leave anything to chance. She wants to make sure she's communicating, doing everything in her power to help her teammates get to the finish line.
She went after that offensive rebound there after the missed free throw, but a little too aggressive as she picks up a foul. She is some kind of a player. Cody McMahon, 3 years at Ohio State. 4th and final year here with the Rebels. Nothing was inside. Swish. Can't get inside. Swish it from outside. And that's Hottie Lay.
Lay wanted to pass that basketball. Didn't necessarily look at the rim with a whole lot of confidence until she just figured, I got to take it. Nobody's guarding me.
Duan will pick up her 3rd foul. And already 3 team fouls for Auburn. We're just underway in the 3rd quarter. Stolen by Lay. You see McMahon rather coaching her teammates on the floor.
Petticoat at that time had an opportunity for an uncontested 3.
And then Lay says, get that out of here. You know, there is a future for these Auburn Tigers. As we were talking about Vickers in his first year, a freshman point guard, and they're really excited about the development of the 6'9" forward. We saw her a little bit in the first half, Eric Angui. There's some parts there, Mo, but McMahon is the equalizer.
The word is going to be patience.
Right.
Auburn fans have to have a little patience. Coach Vickers absolutely knows and understands what he's trying to instill in this program. These young ladies changing the culture a little bit. The hard part, to me, honestly, is the defense this part. If you have players that are committed to playing hard defense and committed to buying into that, playing for each other, as he mentioned, rotating and surrounding the basketball, competing, being physical, playing physical, that part is solved. Now, the offensive piece, of course, that comes with some experience and, of course, some confidence. Everybody wants to score. And I think once you have a player or two where scoring is their specialty, it's going to help everybody else because they know they won't have to do as much. They'll have a couple of people there that can sort of carry the load, so to speak.
Offensive foul on Jamia Harris.
Lots of charges taken here tonight.
See that one again.
Peterson backpedaling, also turning around to get in position. And Harris, maybe she felt she was a little late. Looked like she was on time to me.
Mo, I've told you the story a few times that a few years ago I was talking to a coach over at Sanford University, and I said, oh, you gave so-and-so some extra minutes. And he stopped me immediately, and he said, no, so-and-so earned those minutes. And there's Coach Yo on cue, because yesterday part of her message during practice, you know, she was telling all 13 girls, you want to get in, you want minutes, you earn those minutes. There's nothing given in the game of basketball. You earn, and so DeShields earning her minutes here in the 3rd quarter.
And Iwala earning another foul. Using that off her arm just to create a little more space. Initially, pretty good catch. Did a nice job of fighting off Lay. Just extending that right arm. And it's another offensive foul.
Only the first foul on Iwala. So here's Auburn in the half court. Jackson. Medium range jump shot. That was Lay. And a running shot, draws a whistle and a basket. An N1 opportunity. Watch Chinu.
And Chinu that time able to cross over, get it to the left hand. Auburn not doing a good job of stopping the basketball. Chinu wasn't necessarily pushing it with any intensity, but once she realized that the lane was available, stepped on the gas and got there.
Chinu is a sophomore from West Africa. made the All-SEC team last year. And here's the hustle rebound by McMahon. And McMahon with the finish. Is that coming off the board too?
It's coming off as another offensive foul.
We're going to set an SEC record for offensive fouls. Coach Yo, what? Who?
Well, both of these teams play a physical brand of basketball. So I love the fact that they're willing to step in and take a charge, sacrifice their bodies a little bit on the defensive end.
Auburn can use a three, but stepping into two was Duhan, and she missed.
Nice job by Petticourt containing McMahon.
5 minutes remaining in quarter number 3. Tigers held to just 23 points so far. And this is being done without Ole Miss really being as efficient on offense as they would like to be. Here's an Auburn three from the corner, Duhan with a miss. A rare second chance, and a glass by Sinai Richardson as she uses the glass. She looked around looking to pass. And then inside, Iwala.
You got to love the fact that every time Ole Miss gives up a basket, they come right down and try to attack early in the shot clock. They do not delay. They look for the first open shot attempt. That time Iwala was by herself right underneath the hoop.
And she gets the steal. And the finish by Chinu. 6'1" Chinu, she can run the floor like a gazelle. Mo, you correct me if I'm wrong. The stats aren't there tonight for Christine Iwala, but I think she's played terrific on the defensive end.
Well, she's just had a lot of activity. She's very active. She's in the right spot most of the time, especially on the inside. And what she's been able to do most of the night, she's been able to contain Auburn guards whenever she's found herself switched off on them.
It's Chinu. And now a breakaway opportunity for Duhan. Duhan has started every game just like sophomore Hadi Lay. So again, give it time, which is not easy at this level and in this conference. But Auburn fans, if you're patient, I think Larry Vickers is the guy you want leading your program.
And if you're Coach Vickers, you're very encouraged by what you're seeing on the defensive end. These Tigers continuing to play, continuing to fight and compete. In spite of the score, of course, Ole Miss, they're not going to relax either. So great test for both of these teams to see who's going to be disciplined to put together a complete 40 minutes of basketball.
Latasha Lattimore gets her first 2 points of the game. Well, let me just say this. If you're anybody on the Ole Miss team and you're not playing at 110%, you will be walking to Tuscaloosa after the game. The bus is going to be locked and closed. They will go to Tuscaloosa after the game to continue this road trip. 3 ball will not go. And I mentioned earlier, at some point soon, Ole Miss, and it's going to start in a couple of days. They'll take the trip tonight to get to Alabama in Tuscaloosa, give them a day and a half of rest. But then they will play Bama, Kentucky, Tennessee, LSU, South Carolina. Talk about a test. Denham to Shields. 3. Won't go. And a run down. Sierra Chinu. The Shields. Her sister Diamond is in the WNBA. Her father Delino, longtime major leaguer. Her brother got to the big leagues as well, Delino DeShields Jr.
With 6 seconds on the shot clock, where do you think this ball is going, Kurt?
I'm looking for McMahon. Now it's Auburn on the missed shot. Duhan almost turned it over. Now Tigers will slow things down. 20 to shoot, 1:38 remaining in the quarter.
Just a little too much time if you're Auburn. Got to play just a touch faster, of course. You want to take a good one. And Ole Miss is not in the business of giving up uncontested shots, especially late in the shot clock. I think she's got to play with a little more burst, a little more tempo on the offensive end if you're the Tigers.
Rebels with a 48-27 lead, quarter 3. Lattimore off the glass. Duhan trying to push. And the freshman, Flau'jae, with the finish, the bucket, and some harm.
Flau'jae has not had the offensive production that she's accustomed to. Here she's able to get the ball out in space and swing step over the top to get the old-fashioned three-point play opportunity.
Flau'jae played on a lot of international teams. She's from Paris. And then she prepped at S3 in Bristol, Virginia.
You realize how difficult it is to lead your team in scoring as a freshman? Flau'jae has so much responsibility. Of course, Petticourt back on the court with her after missing one game, can handle some of the playmaking duties.
Well, the SEC Freshman of the Year is going to be one heck of a race. There are 3 point guards that are freshmen. Alabama's got Ace Austin, Vanderbilt, and the one right in front of us tonight, Auburn. We haven't seen South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia. Aparicia Poe is shooting free throws after the foul on Lay. Lay's foul is number 3. Poe doubled her output from Friday against Vanderbilt. She had 4, she has 8, and she'll stick at 8.
Ole Miss, they get back. That's going to be a takedown by DeShields. That time jockeying for position. DeShields, the smallest player on the court, not willing to concede anything to Lay. And Lay was right at the foul line. You know, Kurt, I've been on the other side of that where I was trying to I've been on the side that she was trying to throw a bigger player down, trying to fight for position.
How did that work out for you?
Well, it was probably a foul.
Hottie Lay, 7 points.
Leading the Tide in scoring so far tonight, 3 of 6 from the field.
Lattimore under some pressure, fouled. Caitlin Duhan will pick up her 4th foul. He also could have called it on Bayoso, but Duhan was there first.
Bayoso wanted to travel.
So Bayoso with her, Duhan with her 4th foul is coming out. You see Auburn right there with Duhan and Harris with 4 fouls apiece.
And it's to be expected to a degree. When you play a physical brand of basketball on the defensive end, very aggressive on-ball defense, you're going to have some contact. You're going to draw some contact. You're going to initiate some contact. You're going to get whistled for some contact. My old coach used to tell us they can't call it all.
I like that.
Unfortunately for the Tigers, they've called most of it here tonight.
Flau'jae tried to go all the way.
And Lattimore just takes away angles. She essentially allows players to go past her because she knows that she has the length to recover.
6'4" grad student from Toronto. And look at the hustle again by Iwala. She is really defensively all over this court. buzzer to Shields, just to the left.
You still have to run the department, and you still got games to play, and it's just been awesome to have this venue, and the SEC's been really cool to help us come over here and play. And our men went on the road to Vanderbilt when they were supposed to come to us, so just a lot of moving parts, but we're going to get through it for sure.
That was my next question. Birmingham has been a bit of a makeshift home for this team the last couple of days. How have you felt that support and seen that support from Greg Sankey and the SEC?
They've been great, and Tiffany Daniels has worked extremely close with our administration, and I think our young ladies have really enjoyed it. Obviously got a win here Friday, and I think they've been enjoying Birmingham. And Oxford, still again a lot of problems there, and some of their apartments didn't have power and water. So for them to be able to come over here and play the games, and have heat and water in a hotel, it's just been good for them. And team bonding, I think they've enjoyed it. But it's been good, and again, the SEC's been really helpful.
I've enjoyed getting to know Coach Jo throughout this process. Talk to me about your relationship with her and what she has brought to Ole Miss athletics.
Yeah, she's just so incredible. Her energy level is always high, and just always in a good spot. And the young ladies, they respond to her, obviously having a great season. She loves Oxford, she loves Ole Miss, and it shows with all of her actions. And so it's been fun, and it's really fun too when you see success come to good people that have worked hard to get there. And when she got here, 8 or 9 years ago, we weren't in a good spot, and she's done a great job with this program.
My last question for you, Keith. There's a lot of excitement right now about Ole Miss in general. What do you feel like you guys are building right now in this new era of college athletics?
Well, it has been good. In the last 6 years, it's been an incredible journey. But to your point, I think we're just getting started. The CFP run really put us on a national stage, and some of the things we've done, Sweet 16s in both men's and women's basketball last year, it's just been really fun. But, if you're not continuing to grow, then you're not getting better, and that's what we're hoping to do here over the next few years.
All right, Keith, thank you so much for your time. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, E.G., along with Keith Carter. Excellent stuff. Great information. +20 point lead for Ole Miss. Iwala starting to watch her points climb, Mo. That's 10, and check the boards.
She's so good on the inside. Strong hands, catches the basketball in traffic. Also, she knows when she touches it, she's going to be surrounded. Never panics, plays under control.
They'll give Iwala, by the way, a double-double. 10 points, 10 rebounds, and I think she's been the best defender. Blocking foul, and Ole Miss has one of their players down. It's Lattimore, and I think that's Lattimore who is down with some sort of a foot issue. So they are calling for the trainer.
Couldn't quite see it on the replay. Harris finding a way to get some inside position. Lattimore so good at driving the ball, driving past Lattimore here. Lattimore's so good at recovering, and maybe just kind of rolled it a little bit. Iwala, she was blocking my view a little bit of, I think it's got to be the right ankle, maybe right foot of Lattimore.
Not putting any weight at all on that right foot. She is a starter, as you see the bio on Latasha Lattimore, 6'4". First year in the Ole Miss program after playing with Texas and Miami and also UVA. She's heading right back into the locker room.
Elite defender. You hate to see that happen here at any time during a ball game, but especially during a game where you have seemingly controlled it from the tip and essentially just 8 minutes or so away from another victory, but you got to hope she's okay.
Well, and if you're the Rebels, you also have that mentality of next man up. And you have to, and I'm sure Coach O is well aware of that. She doesn't need me to instruct. And Walla got stripped that time. And those are the baskets that got to go in for Auburn.
And McMahon, look at the lead. Look at how hard she's playing, how hard she hustled back. Going to be a turnover charge to her here, but you got to love the hustle and the effort and the energy she put forth. That last run out for Auburn goes down and changes the shot.
McMahon's got 20 boards, or rather 20 points and 7 boards.
Just continuing to play hard, just playing the right way, finishing the ball game with the right energy and the right effort. It's a sign of a really good ball club. When you play the right way throughout the duration of the game, you're not letting the score dictate your effort and dictate how you play and how you perform.
Harris for the Tigers with just over 7 minutes remaining. Ole Miss took control of this game about the 5-minute mark of the first quarter. A three for the Tigers won't go. That's Harris. Now, if you're Larry Vickers, Mo, you just want to have your team finish strong. Keep fighting, right?
You still want to see the exact same thing that Coach Yo is expecting to see out of her team. Continue to fight, compete. Don't worry about the score. The score isn't the most important piece now. Right now, you're learning and preparing for the next contest. You want to build a little momentum this final 6:44. Take that into your practice. Take that into your next contest. You're going to have an opportunity, if you're Auburn, to beat some really good teams, because every team in the SEC is a really good team. You're going to have a chance to possibly finish the month in a good spot, give yourself a chance to make the SEC tournament with a solid seed if you can just continue to fight, continue to chip away at the losses.
Iwala picked up her 11th rebound, and now she's going to pick up points number 11 and 12.
And Harris, she was essentially out of sight on that particular post-up. Iwala able to just seal her so far underneath the basket. Her teammates kept working until they got it to her.
This is the third time this season that Iwala has had back-to-back double-doubles as Caitlin Duhon hits the long ball. That's 9 points for her.
Duhon with the first made three of the night for the Auburn Tigers.
And if you don't have the fire opponent, you're hoping that you can use some long range and maybe find that game where you hit 6 or 7, but that's a long time, 3 quarters and a half, and Ole Miss comes right back and answers. And that's Chinu. 14 for Sira Chinu.
She is quick.
What do you think? I want you to tell me more about Harrison Kulabali. You drive, I'm going. I mean, Coach Yo said to us, our entire crew here, you guys, you're our good luck charm. We win at Legacy, you just hop on the bus.
Yeah, well, look, we know defense travels. That's clear. That's evident. Have to see if Curtin Moe travel.
Well, we'd have to take EG. EG, you ready to roll if needed?
You guys say the word, and I'm there.
You're there?
I do spend a lot of time in Tuscaloosa anyway, so this may work.
Right. You might have a locker somewhere on that campus. You should. Four and a half remaining. Peterson quickly back to Poe. A couple of different names tonight than we saw Friday, Mo Finley.
Well, I think the score allows both of these coaches to dip into their bench a little bit, get some minutes for players that may not get minutes if the game was a 2-possession game.
Tiana Thompson drains the 3. Ole Miss only has 3 from behind the arc, and 1 out of 13 for Auburn. We talked about it in the first half. To me, if you ask me about the biggest surprise is you're going to get about 5 threes per game. Right? Look at Auburn's last 5 games. Gators, they got that home win against Alabama.
And the Oklahoma game. That game easily could have went Auburn's way. Of course, I didn't actually see the Florida versus Auburn game. Really good win against your rival at home. South Carolina is just a juggernaut for anybody. So I don't even know if you can actually really beat yourself up about 81-51 at South Carolina.
Denham to Shields with a swish from behind the arc. And that will be her 12th of the year.
Auburn still searching for their first double-digit scorer of the contest.
Good strong finish.
It's a strong finish against really good D. Solid D that time from Murray, but Harris, in spite of the size advantage of Murray, able to get it over the top.
(68-41). Ole Miss moved up in the rankings prior to this game. Yeah, one thing I didn't talk about was the engagement with the outspoken Coach Yo and Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen A. was talking about Lane Kiffin moving from Ole Miss to LSU, and he flat out said it's a much better job, a better environment, and this, that, or the other. And Coach Yo took exception, and she tweeted at Stephen A., and Stephen A. put her on his YouTube program. And obviously she did not back down, and at the end of it, Stephen A. Smith said, I need to come down there and see exactly what you're doing. And, and I've been to the campus. It's beautiful down there in Oxford, although, as Emily Grace talked with the athletic director, obviously looks ravaged right now. But Coach Yo, she doesn't back down from anybody.
Such a fiery personality. And Stephen A., I don't know if he knew what he was in for by inviting her on his show.
No, he didn't. Three-pointer up, and then that second chance to go in.
And here's the thing, she's right. Oxford is a fantastic place to work, and of course, with great students and great student athletes and people who love it, you're not going to let anybody talk bad about the part of New York you're from. Nobody's going to let you talk bad about their space, man.
She's upset with a 28-point lead.
Well, I like it. Here's the thing, she's teaching now. Now it's not even about the score. It's about building the habits that you have to in order to be a championship team. Championship teams continue to play the right way. They don't care about the score. They're playing the right way 100% of the time.
Well, Coach Yo has taken Ole Miss to 4 straight appearances in the NCAA. There's Larry Vickers. Coach Yolette McPhee McEwen is a member of the Bahamian Hall of Fame. She played her basketball first at a junior college and then transferred and finished up at URI. Now, if you haven't been there, there's quite a difference in the climate from Nassau, Bahamas to Newport, Rhode Island.
You talk about an adjustment.
I mean, she probably didn't have a jacket. Emily Grace, have you ever been to the Rhode Island?
I have not,
no,
but I'd love to get up there.
That's a far away from Atlanta. I was up there a couple times. The best man at my wedding is from Pawtucket. And when you drive up there, you feel like you're going to fall off the face of the earth. I mean, it really was just like that small. You're on the ocean. But their basketball is very good.
I think I'd rather go see Coach Yo's hometown. Yeah, where she grew up. I think that's more my speed.
This is the first year in 4 she didn't take her girls to the Bahamas. That's an annual trip. Instead, they went to Paris.
Oh.
There she is. Went to Paris. E.G., you've got an assignment. It's a quick and easy one. You got to make Coach Yo smile. I want to see her laugh and smile. That's nearly impossible. A long 3-ball. It was from the parking lot. Why not? And the Rebels 70 seconds away from salting away a win. And there's the defense just stepping right into the passing lane. Tiana Thompson.
There's a smile.
Is it on camera? If it's not on camera, it doesn't count. You talk about Stephen A. has his own YouTube channel. Coach Yo needs one.
I don't know how many charges we've seen tonight. I'd love to see the stat on that.
Koulibaly's going to get credit for the basketball.
I'm extremely impressed with not only the amount of charges that have been taken, but especially here, under a minute, under 50 seconds. And these players are still stepping in there, taking the contact, taking the charge. And that is the sign of a well-coached, disciplined team.
Well, just one practice under the tutelage of Coach Yo, and you will find out how important that defense is. And if you want any minutes on this hardwood, then you're going to play defense or you're going to wind up at a different school.
Well, the physicality of the SEC just won't allow you to survive if you're not willing to mix it up and touch and play with contact and through a little contact.
She mentioned that in the practice, not playing to, but playing through contact. Good point.
You've got to play through it. It's coming. That contact is coming. Every possession, every pass is contested. Every dribble handoff, you've got someone fighting over the top. Of course, the scouting reports don't leave anything out, nothing to chance. Your opponents know your moves better than you do by the time conference play rolls around. And that, in part, is what makes a lot of what Cody McMahon is doing so impressive. She's at the top of everyone's scouting report. They know what's coming. They know exactly where she's going to try to operate, and they still can't do a whole lot to stop it.
We have a half a minute remaining. Make sure you stay tuned. Our post-game interview, E.G. McWhorter will be with Cody McMahon. Another steal. Lauren Jacobs, freshman from Columbia, South Carolina. And that will be all. The white flag is up. And Ole Miss will go 2-0 here at Legacy.